Hey guys, welcome to Let's Talk About It. So let's get right into this.
Yes, so we're going to be talking about the last episode of Real Housewives of Atlanta. Okay, so let's get right into it. All right, so they basically start off packing up because they're going to Toronto for Carnival, where they wear like that beaded bra and like the underwear and be like whining and stuff like that.
Yeah, this is where girls get permission to act all wild.
So they're going to Toronto and they're packing for Carnival. And Portia starts talking about Eva because now Portia is hearing all of the crap that Eva was talking about Portia. So Eva basically said, you know, why is Portia worrying about, you know, me? She just had a baby. She should be worrying about her C-section, and she should be worrying about all the blogs talking about Dennis cheating on her. And Portia thought that her and Eva was like real cool because they both working at, I forgot that TV show they both are on right now with Ricky Smiley, but they both working there, and Eva's covering for Portia while she was having her baby. So they both cool. So Portia was mad about that. And then the ladies basically get to the airport because they're going to Toronto. And then Eva and Marlo got real friendly. Marlo was the main person talking about Eva's finances. Marlo basically saying Eva is broke and she ain't got no money. And now Marlo's being super nice to Eva.
Is she broke? She got something. I don't think
she's broke.
You can't be on a show and be that broke. I mean, unless you really living crazy.
They basically saying she living above her means, trying to act like she got money.
Well, I'm sure they're all living above their means and acting all, you know.
But a lot of them get a nice check for being on the show. So Kenya then is packing to go on the trip too, and she's leaving her baby Brooklyn for the first time. That probably is super hard as a mom. But then we see Giovanna being invited to the trip, and we're just like, Giovanna's not a main character on the show, so I don't know why she's being invited. So she just seems real out of place, and she just looks real thirsty when they all call Giovanna thirsty. She just looks thirsty.
Who invited her to the trip? I mean,
I think Tanya is hosting the trip, and I think she probably extended the invite to Giovanna. I don't know. She had to. So Marlo loses her passport as they're going to the airport or whatever, but then it was kind of weird because they never explained like how Marlo got to enter into Toronto with her passport being lost. They just kind of skipped into the ladies being in Toronto or whatever. So they go to this dancing class because they're trying to learn how to whine for the carnival and everything. And then we get shown that Candy really can't dance. Jeff isn't, you know, feeling Candy like that. But they expose that Candy can't really dance and stuff like that.
It's not that I'm not feeling her like that. Candy just seems like, just tries to seem like she's just too perfect. You know?
I don't think Candy thinks she's too perfect.
I don't know.
I like Candy.
Yeah, whatever.
So when they get to the hotel, this was interesting. So the last episode, Cynthia had an event at her Bailey event space, and her and Nene aren't friends anymore. And Nene sent her a card, you know, that congratulated her, seemed really sincere. And then Cynthia found on a blog the exact wording that Nene had on the card. And Cynthia's like, how did Nene's card, you know, everything that was on the card get on a blog? Like, you know, so they think that Nene sent that to the blogs to try to make her look like a good person and that she's reaching out to Cynthia saying good things to her. Which, I don't know, that might be true.
Yeah, she probably did that
how
because,
did the blog
you know, at least she's showing that she's reaching out, she's trying, you know, those are her receipts. I
mean, but why do you need to have a receipt? You know what I mean? Like, it was just like, the blog had it word for word, like what Nene hand wrote in a card. That was like, I don't know, it's a bit much.
You know, it's women, you know.
So then we know that, of course, Kenya is talking about her struggling relationship with her husband, Mark. I don't know if they're divorced or whatever, but Kenya is like, you keep crying every episode about your marriage. Like, what are you going to do about it? It's just like, it's kind of boring to see at this point. I'm over it.
Didn't she jump into that real quick?
I guess so. And they got married quick and like kind of under the radar.
You know, what's she complaining for? How you like she jumped into it real quick? How are you gonna know somebody within a few months?
I mean, I don't know how long they did. I don't know. But
she was just in a relationship. Wasn't she?
Oh, with the other dude, with the bald dude.
Yes, they were just in a relationship, and then.
But he was crazy. He was like,
it don't matter. You know, you don't get to know somebody like you need. I don't know. I think you need at least more than a year, maybe years to get to know somebody. You gotta live with the person. No wonder why that's why it's not working, because they
are opposite. They are completely opposite. So then we fast forward, right? And basically, the biggest part of the episode is where the ladies all get together. It looked like they was on the rooftop of their hotel or whatever. But the ladies all get together, and Tanya basically finds out that Nene decided to come on the trip. So she tells Nene, hey, you know, all the girls are going to be upstairs or whatever. And the girls don't know you're coming. So the girls go upstairs, and it's Kenya there, it's Cynthia, it's Portia, Giovanna, Marlo, Eva, and I don't know if I'm forgetting somebody, but everybody was there, Tanya, except for Nene. And Portia, your girl Portia, Jeff like Portia.
She's all right.
Okay. She's all right. So, Portia confronts Eva, like, you know, what's up? I heard you was talking shit about me. I heard you was talking about me. And Eva,
can the trip ever go well and peaceful?
It never goes well.
Oh.
So then Portia was like, you know, I heard you said I should be worried about my my stretch mark or my C-section healing, and worry about my man being in the blogs for like the cheating stuff. And I thought we were supposed to be cool. Like, that hurt my feelings. And then of course Eva's famous for saying like shady stuff and then denying it when people like confront her about it. So Eva act like she didn't remember saying nothing. And then Portia's like, well, you're calling Candy a liar then, because Candy told her what he said.
Of course she did.
So then Candy looking at her like, girl, you must be crazy because I'm not lying. That's what you said.
Yeah, puppet in disguise.
And then they showed the flashbacks of even saying all those things like more than once. So the editing was like real shady in the episode. And of course Eva was like denying it, but then she goes, you know, if I did say it, I didn't mean it to hurt you. So it's like, just say you said it, but you was just trying to be too funny and you didn't realize you was gonna hurt your friend.
The thing is, once you lie and get used to lying, you really believe, you just keep lying, and you really believe whatever you said was true.
Yeah, so like she probably, I don't know.
Yeah, she used to being a lie. So.
The tape's gonna get her, so they got it on tape.
And that's what they don't realize. Like, don't they realize everything they say is recorded? And as soon as they lie about something, they'll just replay the previous clip.
Yeah, like they're just gonna play the clip over.
What they originally said.
Just admit what you said, girl. And then the last part is, so the last episode we saw Cynthia get proposed to by by Mike. Yeah, so she got proposed to by Mike, and he wanted it to be a surprise or whatever. And Kenya, this is how it happened. So Candy texted Kenya and was like, Mike said don't leave early, like where are you at, because Kenya was running late to Cynthia's event. And she was like, I think Mike is going to propose to her. And then Kenya came in the party and she's like, oh, Cynthia, I think Mike is going to propose to you. So she basically kind of gave Cynthia, like, you know, like the biggest clue that this man is going to propose to you.
Why would she do that? Why would she ruin it? You see how shady women are? You see how
that's what Candy was saying. She's like, why would you do that? She was so mad. Like, she was so mad. Like, who does that?
Yeah, who does that?
Who does that? So Cynthia basically confronted Kenya because Mike is pissed off when he heard about it.
Hell yeah! If I'm Mike, I'm not proposing too.
What?
That shit. Hell no! I'm going.
You're gonna let some other
because I wanted to be a surprise. And it's not a surprise anymore. So they ruined it. Your friends, it's your friends. At the end of the day, your friends effed it up for you. It's your friends. So yeah.
Oh my goodness.
Yeah. So I'm gonna have to start over.
So he was pissed off. It was cute what he did too, but I get why he was mad. I would have been mad too or whatever. And then, so Cynthia confronted her and Kenya's like, you know, I just had some intuition that it was going to happen. And Candy was like, what? And then Kenya was like, well, go ahead. I know what you're going to say. And Candy was like, you didn't have an intuition. I text you that information, you know, so you knew, like, I text you about it. She tried to say.
Wait, who texted? Who was it?
Candy texted Kenya. Candy texted Kenya.
Started it. So
and then Kenya tried to act like she had some freaking thought. Some like, oh, I just knew it was going to happen that day. Like, no, girl. You didn't know. So you just kind of blew the whole secret. And she was just like, I'll ride hard for Cynthia. I wouldn't ruin her moment. She knew what she was doing. She knew what she was doing.
To tell a girl, to tell your friend in her face, oh, I think so-and-so is going to propose to you. You know what you're doing.
Yeah.
That, you know?
Like, y'all at a big event, all your family there. And it's like, why would you say that? You know?
She knew what she was
doing. Just shut
shut
up. I would never do that, you know? But then maybe Mike should have, like, if he knows how close her and Kenya are, maybe he should have had her in on it. You know what I mean?
I mean, you would never think
you would have to do that.
Yeah, like you would never think that.
Yeah, but I mean, hey. I don't know. Maybe he really wanted everybody to be shocked. But yeah, So she's basically saying, you know, Cynthia, I ride for you. I'm like a really good friend for you. I would never take your moment. But I think that, I think she tried to, like, you know, do it for the cameras. I think she just tried to take her moment and do it for the cameras. And then Nene walks in and the episode cuts off. So it's just like, Nene, they only gave the girl about 2 scenes. Now, Nene started the show, basically. She's the face of the show. And I think they're trying to phase her out. So, I don't know. We'll see what happens.
How you gonna phase her out if she started the show? I'd be damn, I start something, you trying to take my ass out.
That's basically like, cause I follow Nene, and that's kind of like the vibe I get. Like, you know, y'all can't really phase me out. Like, and
who's gonna be the star of the show? Candy?
I think Candy would be next up. Yeah. I think she would, because they already got her in the middle. Like, I think last season they had her in the middle on the intro.
She at the top now. She is.
And I think Candy is the most wealthy on the show. So, you know, and she's the second longest one that's currently on the show. So
I thought she was the second most wealthy on the show.
I don't think that Candy has less money than Nene. She has more. Candy got about 500,000 businesses. I mean,
yeah, she's doing what she's doing.
So yeah, I think Candy's the most wealthy on the show. So that is this episode. Make sure to comment, like, and subscribe. Let us know what you think about Kenya stealing Cynthia's moment. Did she steal her moment or not?
Hell yeah.
Bye, guys.
She stole his moment too.
She did.